Good morning and welcome to Renaissance Unity.
Good morning.
I'm Beth Gatchell, one of your musical facilitators today, joined by Brenda Bay and Roy King on drums. I'm going to invite Reverend David up for some prayer.
So before we move into prayer, I just want to share with everyone that yesterday we had this amazing experience in the Dr. Joe Dispenza workshop. And truly, I think for Renaissance Unity, it was just another day of moving into clarity that the future is about direct experience. It really is. It's really about directly encountering your true self, which is a gift from God. It truly is a gift. If you were here yesterday and you were helping with that Joe Dispenza workshop, I just want you to stand because Vivian, Freddie, David, anybody else who was here who was helping with that workshop, let's just bless them together, knowing that they really have brought to Renaissance Unity a clarity and an awareness of our future. So together, we bless you, we appreciate you, we behold the Christ in you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's just take that into prayer this morning. Could you just join me in that knowing that we are called in this day, this is the day we're living in, to move into greater awareness of the gift that's within us and having that direct experience with that. So just go with me within. And we open this service this morning knowing we have been gifted consciousness, awareness to notice our internal life, and an awareness of the journey back home to that gift that we are. In the name of the living Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen.
So our opening song this morning is Use Me. Please stand if you're able.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine its light. God, as you use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Verena Long, and I want to welcome you to Renaissance Unity. Thank you for being with us today, those of you online and those of you here in person. We had a beautiful morning music there that just touched my heart. Thank you so much. Unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to spirituality, one that honors universal truths in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. Let's affirm together. There is only one presence and one power in our lives and in the universe. God the good, omnipotence.
There is only one presence and one power in my life and in the universe. God the good, God the good, God the good, omnipotent.
And now let's move into our community affirmation. We are a dynamic fellowship centered in the active spiritual practice of love, truth, gratitude, and service to others. Is there anyone here for the first time today? Hello, welcome. Yay. Thank you for joining us today. We do have a welcome card on the table outside in the social hall if you would like to fill one out after the service and just drop it in the basket. Thank you again for being here. Do we have anyone joining us for the second time today? Okay. If you are joining online and you wish to stay connected or receive our newsletter, please put your email address into our comment section below. And I would like to talk about just briefly again about the workshop yesterday. If you were not able to attend, hopefully we will have one again in the future. It's a possibility, infinite possibilities. We discussed those. We also talked about don't use matter to change matter, use energy to change matter. And this brought to mind a quote from the famous Yoda, you must unlearn what you have learned. And I would also like to say, please make sure if you would like to join us for Thanksgiving to sign up for our upcoming Thanksgiving potluck. And I would say that Beth Gatchell, Brenda Bay, and Roy King are our musicians today, and they do a fabulous job every time. We are grateful to have them here. And Reverend David is our speaker. We can't wait to hear what he has to say. And now, join me as we say together our mission statement. Our mission, transforming lives through a consciousness of love. And please listen to the words of our vision statement. We envision an inclusive world where minds, hearts, and hands are connected in raising the global consciousness of love. I am the prayer chaplain today, and if you require prayer, I will be available in the prayer chapel after service. So please join me if you feel the heart call to do so. Now, I would like to draw your attention to our prayer box. It is located behind me, and the Christ candle is lit right behind it. Our prayers are prayed over here for 30 days and then sent to Silent Unity, where they are also prayed over for an additional 30 days. And we know that our prayers are already answered, and all is in divine order. And we are so grateful for this. Our daily word today, balance. I honor life's shifting rhythms. Sometimes trying to balance my schedule, meet my obligations, and even find time for the things I enjoy can leave me scrambling to figure out how to fit it all in. Today, I take my cue from nature and notice the rhythms of the seasons and the tides, the cycles of growth, and the order that underlies all things. I appreciate how seamlessly the natural world balances itself and restores itself to harmony. The gift of harmony and balance lives in me. I honor myself when I flow with it instead of forcing my will upon it. I listen to my body's many signals. I rest when I'm tired. I eat when I'm hungry. And I socialize and seek solitude as I need to. As I care for myself, I find balance. And from Scripture, for there is nothing better for people under the sun than to eat and drink and enjoy themselves. Celsius 8:15.
We'll now prepare for meditation with some song. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. A love that heals, a love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet
can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, a love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's a love that heals, a love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love.
Thank you for that love. We are now getting ready for our time up for meditation. After I speak and play the bowls, I will hold 2 minutes of silence for all of us to integrate and allow this intention behind this meditation to ground, and that is the intention behind this meditation, is grounding. Because when we are grounded, we are able to manifest better, we are able to hold our health, and we are able to send our love with pure love and smooth delivery with simple hearts and simple minds and simple bodies. So that is the goal. So if you would please uncross your legs if they are crossed and put your feet on the ground. And just get comfortable in your seat. Close your eyes. And just focus on your breath a moment. So grounding. One of the most important things in grounding is feeling the connection between the earth and your feet. Please put all your attention on that connection at this moment. As you breathe, feel your feet on the ground and feel the earth firmly supporting you and all that you are in this entire world. This world and you are one. You and all of us are one. We are all so loved, and we shall always be this loved. There is no separation, just as your feet are not separated from this earth at this moment, right now. Feel your legs, and just breathe with that for one moment. Now, if you would just repeat after me one simple sentence. I am grounded. And know this in your being, because that is what you are. You are grounded in this planet, right here, with your spirit, and you are able to manifest abundance and love at will, because that is the will of the higher consciousness within you. And if you just want to start wiggling your toes, moving your arms, moving your face around, coming back to this moment in this space, opening your eyes, and just being. Thank you for holding that silence and honoring yourselves. Thank you for listening and allowing. Thank you for receiving and just being. You are all so beautiful and wonderful, and it is amazing to be here with you today. And you are grounded. If we could just say that one more time, I'll say it and you repeat it. I am grounded.
I am grounded.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Thank you, Verena. That was beautiful. Yeah. So we'll go toward the message now with this song, I Will Surrender.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and true and free. As I continue walking in this mystery, I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day, and I'm more loving every moment, every day, and I am kinder every moment, every day.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Brenda. Sacred, sacred. Will you surrender? Will you surrender from great to the greatest thing in all your life? Your true self. Your true self. You know, yesterday, as we've said throughout the service this morning, we had this workshop together with Joe Dispenza. And what Joe Dispenza says is science is the new language of the mystics. Remember hearing that? Science is the new language of the mystics. You know, Abraham Hicks, I heard her say recently, what do you need the ancient texts for? They've been tampered with. You have science now, you know. But I've also heard her say, when you gain that understanding of sacred texts, bring it back, bring it back. So Abraham Hicks, what do you need your ancient texts for? They've been tampered with. You have science now. And then there's Caroline Mace that says, now that we are in the cosmic age, awakening to the cosmic Christ, we must go back and reinterpret our text. We must go back and reinterpret our text. I love when she says, she's so playful, she says, we no longer believe in an off-planet God that's kind of watching down over us, you know. We're all awakening to this indwelling divinity within us. So which of these focuses is correct? I mean, that now we should really focus on direct experience or focus on the sacred text or a balance. I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. My choice is balance for right now, okay? That's my choice. So I don't know which of these is correct, but I do know this. The goal is awakening. The goal is awakening. The goal is not to marry sacred text with your direct experience. That's wonderful if you have that experience. It truly is. The goal is to arise into new understanding and realize the new spirit or the spiritual capacities that are coming from the timeless, that have always been there. You know, I've found that actually, if you start looking at the mystics, you'll find out that they're actually students of sacred text. You'll often find out, like Einstein, he was a mystic, truly. He was a Jewish mystic. He was well steeped in Jewish mysticism. E equals MC squared arose from preparing himself for that. I see many heads shaking yes. It arose out of that preparation. So the sacred texts are one modality. And in unity, that's the way we look at the sacred text. It may work for you. It may not. It works for me. It truly works for me. It reveals secrets to me all the time because I focus on it, right? It's part of my practice. So I'd like to visit a gem this morning that comes from these sacred texts. It's a gem of finding our way back home and what's there when we get there. A real gem to finding our way back home to pure potential, to infinite capacities, to realize capacities beyond the ones that we currently experience. And awareness and realizing the awareness that everything in our life, everything is working together for our good. Everything is for us. And as we relax into that knowing, life begins to flow. Have you noticed? Yeah. when you let go of the attachments and just say, wow, this is all for my spiritual evolution, it begins to flow. You begin to realize as I sink back in, I just feel like I'm home. How many have had that experience where you journeyed your way into unity and then one morning you just went, I'm home. Yeah, I see lots of hands shaking. Let's just, how many had that experience? Let's do it all at once. Wow. That feeling is the key. You know, for me, it looked like this. I really was aware of this stuff since I was a child. And then I found Emmett Fox, but I was going to traditional churches. Lots of great understanding that I realized in that. But as I began to go farther in that, then I learned about unity from Emmett Fox. So then what I would do, I would attend the traditional church, and I would attend unity, you know. I would bounce back and forth. I've talked to many people who've been in this same pattern, right? Done the same journey. And then one morning, I was in a unity church, Talmadge, Unity Chapel of Light. And I sank down into my seat, and I said, I'm home. I'm home. Why? Because when you're true to yourself, that's what it feels like. It feels like home. And at this place called home, there's something really interesting about experiencing that great life of good for us. And it's this: you don't have to earn it. You don't have to earn it. It's a gift from God that moves through timelessness and begins to work for you when you trust home. If you prefer, you might say that it's the infinite mind and its organizing principle just beginning to work it all out for you as you set your intention on your desire. Grace is often the word that's used for it, is experienced. Realizing the true great in your life is a gift from God. Your true self is a gift from God. There's nothing you do to earn it. There's nothing you do to earn this magic that occurs in life, right? It's just an alignment with the desire that is not separated from God. You and God are one. So you realize the great in your life through timelessness, through this state of grace, and through the greatest thing in all your life, your true self. And it feels like home. You know, sometimes we call it the nameless one. You ever heard that term, the nameless one? Or sometimes we call that the divinity within, or the divine self, or the indwelling Christ, or my true self. There's so many names for it. Well, if you're looking for the core of what you're called to express, it's exactly this true self, and living in this state of grace, living in this timelessness. And we witnessed it right before our eyes yesterday. This is something that is beyond our identity, beyond our ego's identification of stating what we are or what we're not, or what another is or what another isn't. It's where the magic is born out of to move forward into realizing greater capacities, spiritual capacities in your life. And it's where your ease is at. It's where your effortlessness is at. It's where you're noticing that synchronicities are working out for me to realize exactly what I define as a great life through trusting that place called home. Have you ever noticed that when you are truly home with self, that you just are breathing freely? You're just breathing freely. Have you noticed that at that moment when you've come home, that stress has slipped away, that tension was eased, and that a sense of all is well was present? Yeah. Many faces smiling, you're identifying. Breathing freely right now as we move into exploring more of a gem. Are you willing to do that right now, to just continue to breathe freely as we move further into exploring a real gem? A real gem. You see, there's a pattern for sinking into this true gift and allowing for that timelessness. You know, if you notice that there's this symbol that in the horizontal axis, it's life, it's time. It's you reap what you sow on that axis. But in unity, we don't teach that you're confined to your reap what you sow. We don't teach that. We teach that there is a timelessness, okay? And where the two meet are now. And there's the magic, to always be present in the now where they cross. In this timelessness is where you're going to experience the synchronicities in your life. It truly is. And the sacred texts have been pointing to it all along. You know, many in unity, they enjoy visiting the Aramaic. Anybody like to visit the Aramaic? Yeah, there's several. Because when you go back and you start to look at the original language of Jesus, it starts to reveal a little bit more. And it has this real interesting word for breathing freely. Or those in the journey in unity, often you find that they merge into A Course in Miracles. Yeah. And the Course in Miracles has this interesting word for journeying home. And the word for breathing freely and journeying home is exactly the same word. It's exactly the same word. How many remember the story of the prodigal son? We visited that several times, but it's such a revealing story. You remember he's off, he squanders off all his inheritance. But the gem is he was given a gift. He was given the gift of Christ's consciousness. And he said he awoke. And he said, I noticed that everybody in my Father's home has all they need. And he went back home. That's the gem. That's the gift. You're gifted with an awareness to find what you're attached to. Not to judge it. Don't judge it. Just notice it. Notice where your attachments are. And just allow your consciousness, what it does, it burns off the attachment. When you watch it in non-judgment. So he did that, and he goes back home, and you know what happened? He gets back home, and the message is there. All that is in my kingdom is here for you. All you have to do is stay awake. Stay awake to what's home. That was the only requirement. You see, there is a requirement to realizing it. There is a requirement to coming home. You know, in the sacred scriptures, it says that through grace, by our faith, do we realize the great inheritance? Do we realize this free breathing? Do we realize home? In other words, we are gifted with the consciousness, and then as we trust what we noticed, something amazing can happen for us. When we drop our attachments to narratives, we get attached to narratives, don't we? Sometimes. Or when we drop our false ego-based identities, or just whatever you're holding onto, and then you begin to trust the bigger picture. You know what happens in our life sometimes is, you know, here's this big picture. The Course in Miracles and all these sacred texts say it's finished. What's that mean, it's finished? You know, it means that it's all one always. It's all one always working for your good, always. But sometimes in that big picture, what happens is over here, we are so focused on a little narrative in the corner. And we're saying, oh my, you know, I don't have the money to realize this big dream. I don't have the contacts to do it. I don't have the capacities to realize that. But the gift is this. As you realize back and you move back to your breath and back into the gift that you've been given, your true self, it releases. it releases something amazing. You see, on this axis, everything decays. Everything grows old. That's what it does. On this axis, it heals. That's the axis of healing. That's home. Bethany, do you have something to share with us about this? Yeah. So yesterday we had, you do. So there's a beautiful story that she's going to share that absolutely demonstrates this. Go ahead.
Hi, Unity. Most of you don't know very much.
Do I have to turn that? Can you hold on just a second? I'm going to turn your mic on.
Oh, it's not on.
Let me turn it on for you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's try this again. Most of you don't know very much about my background. I've been a wife, I've been a mother, I've been a teacher, I've been a holistic health practitioner, I've been a lot of things in my lifetime. This part of my life, I feel, is devoted for me to transform myself into what I ultimately want to be. So on that venture, I have dabbled before into Joe Dispenza. I even went to a workshop that David led a couple of years ago, was it, David? On Joe Dispenza. And I never really got that much out of it. But the one thing I always have is hope. And so hope has driven me to try a lot of different things to cure the situation that I have going on, which is pretty extreme, even though people don't probably recognize it because I look pretty normal. But I've been dealing with chronic pain for about 12 years now. Thank you. And it's horrible. It's horrible to go day to day, 24 hours a day, dealing with pain and finding really nothing that gives you very much release. I happen to have chronic Lyme disease. Oops, sorry, I keep on forgetting. I happen to have chronic Lyme disease, so that's what's causing all this pain for me in my life. But I'm a fighter, and I'm a perseverer, and I just keep on going, and I keep on hoping, and I keep on thinking, okay, this is going to be the answer for me. So I came to the workshop. What I don't have a lot of is I don't have a lot of trust, and I don't have a lot of the ability to surrender. So I'm thinking, how is this going to work for me if I don't really believe that it's going to happen? But, you know, I'm going to give it my all because I always give everything at least 200% of what I have. So I came to the workshop and I did what was required and I enjoyed it. And I sat with my brother and his girlfriend, and that was nice. And towards the end, we did a couple of meditations. The one meditation that really transformed me, and I hate to be so dramatic, but it really did transform my life, was a meditation where we were supposed to pick something that, some feeling in our life that we wanted to eliminate. And the feeling that I wanted to get rid of was fear, because I have a lot of fear. My life has been threatened a few times, and I'm not going to go into all that because that's not what I'm here to talk about. But anyway, fear was what I picked as my feeling that I wanted to get rid of. And I'm just like, I'm still like in a shock because I can't believe that I was able to do what I did at the workshop. I all of a sudden realized that my feet, which constantly hurt me, I have neuropathy and it's really, really painful, had just left. And it didn't, unfortunately, it didn't stay gone. It stayed gone for about 5 hours, and then gradually last night it started coming back, but not to the degree that it was prior to that. So I just figure, okay, this is just the beginning. I just have to really delve into this, and I think it's going to be the panacea for me, but I definitely felt reborn. So for those of you that missed the workshop, I highly recommend going to the next one if there is a next one coming up. I'm planning on going to something else, somewhere else that I'll have to pay for, but I'll have to work that out. Okay, well, I'm done.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to talk.
Thank you. You see, did you hear the timelessness? We touch that, and then we know that when we drop the attachments of fear, something amazing grace kicks in. That's always been the promise. It's always been the promise. You know, we are living in the age where it's no longer about theological arguments. We don't have time for that anymore. We're living in the age of direct experience. The last thing I want to say, because we're going a little bit longer, about this direct experience is it can be so simple. It can be for a child to awaken that when I take a breath and that child moves into their frontal lobe, all of a sudden I can select what I desire. It's that simple. And so we have the opportunity here at Renaissance Unity to begin to bring forward in the ways that we are called to this direct experience. Will you join me? Will you join me? Amen. Namaste.
So this next song is called The Greater Good by David Roth, and we'll repeat each verse, and it'd be great to hear your voices.
Greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all. We are here for the greater good of all, the greater good of all, the greater good of all.
Thank you so much. I feel great. Thank you, Bethany, for sharing your experience. It's beautiful when somebody really feels the heart call to share with others about their healing and their transformation. So thank you again for that. A quote that came up for me briefly today was, "When you are destined for greatness, it shows in everything you do. It becomes you. Greatness becomes you." And that's Lori Myers. And based on Reverend David's talk, there was intention mentioned, and I think the intention of our grounding in the meditation is important to set that intention, because then we can fully embody it and become that grounding. And we will build on that next week, because I'll be back to do the singing bowls again. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Thank you. And now is our time to give back, knowing that as we give, we receive. And I'm going to invite our ushers to come forward. While they're coming up, let me remind you that there are a few ways to give. Go to our website, give by text, or sign up for automatic giving. We bless these offerings, knowing that they are blessing the receiver as well as the giver. Let us join together and say our offering blessing. Divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. Freely I give, and freely I receive.
Grateful, grateful, grateful are we for the breath breathed in our lungs, for all we have to eat. Grateful, grateful for the turn of every day, for the blessings in our lives. With a full heart we give thanks.
And I am today's prayer chaplain, so please feel free to see me after the service. The email address for prayer requests on a day other than Sunday is on our website homepage. Upcoming events can also be found there. And let me invite Reverend David up for some closing reminders.
Just real quick, we want to mention, we have a plan to mention 3 Sundays in a row, this announcement about, just appealing to everyone to consider, fragrance. And we, as we indicated that, in a community this size, there'll be 2 to 3 people in here that are significantly agitated. I mean, to the point of it can be medical issues, actually. And that there'll be another 6 to 7 that have significant agitation. So, our appeal is to just, if it's optional for you, consider that we can come together in unity and just work together. Now, I said optional. You notice I have hairspray in here. Not optional. Otherwise, I look like Mo. All right? So that's up to you to discern that. And we just, again, appeal to that. And we do have some documents that actually have some of these natural fragrances that aren't so challenging for those who are agitated by it. So if you're interested in that, we can certainly get that to you. I also want to announce that next week we have 2 blessed souls that will be here with us, Reverend Dana Cummings and Reverend Elizabeth Longo. Yeah. So Reverend Dana I have been in conversation with him. We're dear friends. And he will be here on site. But Reverend Elizabeth Longo, actually, she's going to be on video. She's creating a video for us. And next week, we're going to talk about, I've talked with both of them, we're going to talk about Renaissance in the Renaissance, okay? And so, of course, we've addressed some of that this morning. So be sure to be here. Mention to all your friends in Unity, as well as any others that you just know will be blessed by this community. And we're going to have a great time next week. Verena Siga Bowles, and thank you to Sue, Elaine, and all those helping to make this just an amazing experience next week. We're going to celebrate you next week, okay? Thank you.
Donna Nowak, will you come join us?
Okay, so we are halfway through the M&Ms and Go fundraising campaign. The M&Ms stands for, yes, our flyer does have the little candies on it to get your attention. And if you need the detail, there are some of these out on the table. But the update is that we have raised so far toward the goal is $3,650. And when we reach that, we will be matched with another, from an anonymous donor, $650. So the potential is for $7,300, which is for our music ministry. As you'll see, we've been able to add Ed Lemmers on bass, who I think he's still in Columbia, out of the country, and Roy on drums with the music coordinators, Beth and Kathy. So we have reached $2,010, which is 55% of our goal, and we're half of the way through the campaign. So we could be celebrating. And a way that we might celebrate is through M&Ms. So on your way out today, you can have a little pack of M&Ms, and the reason for the little pack, I didn't even know why until after the Bible verse was referenced twice today, the one that was in the Daily Word, and then repeated by Verena, which is eat, drink, and be merry. But the Aramaic, it was eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you shall die, is in what the Bible? No, the Aramaic was eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you may diet.
That was good.
That was great, Donna. Thank you so much for that announcement. And now I'd like to invite Reverend David back up, and it is birthday Sunday here today.
So yeah, you want to bring the children up first? Yeah, we can bring the children up. Come on, let's go ahead. We'll bring the children up, celebrate that, and they can celebrate the birthdays with us. So go ahead, Hank. You got the mic right. Who's
Light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hank couldn't make it today, but Harry Potter's here.
Oh, okay.
We had a wonderful time today. Not only did we learn about God and God's presence and where God lives in us and that God knows everything. So what we're going to do right now is to let Brianne, tell us a little bit about what you learned today about God for you.
He's all around us and he's in us. And he enfolds us.
What word did we use today? We learned about omnipresent, and that omni means everywhere. So then after we did that, we did a meditation, which was just amazing for these two children. And I have to point out the young lady sitting in the back with her mom, who is more comfortable there than up here. So she also participated in this, and I'm just going to take a moment to show you what we did. some of my Tibetan stuff in it, and these are symbols. And the children sat with their eyes closed, breathing, and then we read the meditation. And what we did was I went around like that, and then I had a big bowl that I did the same thing with, and it was amazing to just watch that. Did you enjoy that? Yeah, and how did that make you feel when we did that?
Good.
Okay, that's good. All right, well, and then I did a magic show with the kids, and they really loved that as well. So this was a great Sunday for us and a great Sunday for the kids, and we all enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
So if you have a birthday, could you raise your hand, or just come forward, actually. Come forward. We're going to celebrate all those who have their birthdays in November. Just go right up on the stage right there. We want to see you and celebrate you. And if you will just give us your name and the date of your birthday.
Julie Redford Hutchinson, November 23rd. And Verena, thank you. I got a telepathic message. You're going to be giving me a singing bowl concert soon. Thank you.
Bethany Chose, November 10th.
Judy Charlick, November 1st. Gay Carew, November 2nd.
Darren Burke, November 7th.
So let's bless them. We bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you. Happy birthday. Together, we bless you. We appreciate you. We behold the Christ in you. Happy birthday. Stay right there.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear loved ones. Happy birthday to you. We wish you a happy birthday. We wish you a happy birthday. We wish you a happy birthday and a fabulous year. And may this year bring you every good thing. We wish you a happy birthday and a fabulous year.
That's so wonderful. Happy birthday to all of you. And Hank, awesome hat, awesome magic tricks. I know I went in there before service and saw what Hank was doing, and I know the kids might not come up here and discuss it all, but I know that they're having a great time in there, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And this concludes our service. Thank you for being here, those of you online and those of you here in the sanctuary. Let us join together and sing our peace song, followed by the prayer of protection.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Then we all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Now, with every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now join me in saying our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Namaste. See you next week.